Hello, everyone, and welcome to Let's Curate's webcast, wherein we feature independent artisans from around the world and focus on all aspects of the creative process. So, last week was the launch of our new limited edition collection, an initiative that showcases custom exclusive capsule collections from artisans and brands globally. The pieces featured here are only available on our platform. So this is the special thing about our limited collection. It's exclusive just for our community and fan base. Today is again a very special webcast because we will be speaking to our second artisan that we are launching this week, Jessica McCottrell from Arizona, USA. Jessica is an artist and illustrator and has created two beautiful paintings just for the Let's Curate platform. Jessica, welcome and thank you so much for joining us today. We're so happy to have you.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
So I want to begin by understanding what got you into painting. Was this something that you transitioned into, or was it something you grew up with? What was the main influence behind your journey into this field?
Well, it sounds a little silly, but as a teenager, I started really getting into video games. Okay. And I really was attracted to the box art, to all the promotional art, and I always thought it was amazing that people would make these things. So I started trying to draw and make my own video game characters. And it wasn't until I was an adult that I started taking drawing seriously in any regard. I started learning more about anatomy and composition. So I really fell deep in love with art. So I wanted to change my major, but there were no digital art classes because video game art is mostly digital art. So I took some drawing and painting classes, and I just fell even more in love with drawing and painting. And yeah, so I quit my nursing major, decided to go into art because I was just so enamored with it, and I've stuck with it since.
How wonderful. It's always something unexpected that pushes you towards a direction which you've not really considered before. You know, there's always this, I've spoken to so many especially painters or sculptors, and they started off with something so different. And, I think the passion that's within you, it just explodes one day, and you just cannot help but just follow that, I guess. What techniques do you specialize in, and what's your favorite medium?
Well, I mostly specialize in digital art because I taught myself digital art while I was studying painting in school. And unfortunately, I graduated from school at the height of the recession, and in the recession in the US, and I didn't have a means of creating any more paintings because I couldn't afford supplies or anything. But I still had my computer, so I would do digital art every day, and that lasted up until just recently, where I decided, it's time to get back into painting because that's what I really love to do. So I'm a much better digital painter, but I love to paint with watercolor. I love to paint with soft pastels. I also do some color pencil work. I do everything, really, anything I can get my hands on because it's so fun. But I mostly specialize in watercolor, pastel, and digital art.
Oh, wonderful. So this is exciting to me that one of your favorite mediums is watercolor, because that's what you've used for the paintings that you've created for us, right?
Right.
So I want to show our viewers the beautiful paintings that you've created, and they're watercolor based. And I want to kind of understand from the artist's point of view, the significance and what inspired you. So let's begin with the first one. Absolutely stunning colors. Jessica, this is so stunning. I love I just realized while you were talking that it actually highlights all the features that you were talking about, the pastel, the watercolors. But can you tell me a little more about this painting? Why did you choose to do this particular one?
Well, I've been reading a little bit about abstract art and trying to get more into creating interesting compositions. And so with this painting, I wanted to sort of combine an abstract, sort of minimalist wash with something really complicated, like complicated shapes inside the circle. And the peony is like really beautiful flowers, so many petals. The colors just radiate from a peony. So I really wanted to juxtapose those two things, create a wash that was complementary to the flower, and create this detailed flower that just kind of stood out in the painting.
Right. How long did this take you to make? Like, how long does it take for you to conceptualize it and then, you know, say, okay, this is the subject of my painting. These are the colors I'm going to use. Is it different with every painting, or do you have like a very set process?
I have a set process. I'm not very intuitive. So I do a lot of preliminary sketches and things in my sketchbook, both in my watercolor sketchbook and my pencil graphite sketchbook. So sketching usually takes about, well, for this one, it took about an hour to come up with a composition.
Okay.
And when I transferred it to the paper, and all in all, watercolor, it's hard to time because there's drying time as well. And I used about 4 layers. So it probably took me about 4 hours of work over a few days.
Wow. Wow. Now I want to show the second painting that you've created for us, which is, I've noticed the theme for both is it's kind of steeped in nature. Is that one of your prime inspirations for, was that the theme that you were going for this particular capsule collection, or are you essentially a nature lover and you kind of draw inspiration from that factor? This is the second one, by the way.
Well, with nature, before when I started drawing at first, I only could draw humans and people in very like specific situations. And when I branched out from that and started learning more about nature and flowers and botany, and it's really just amazing thing to explore and try to depict, because nature is all around us, but it's also very complicated. Like, you can go outside and see the same flowers on the sidewalk over and over again.
Right.
But if you really stop and look at them, they're unique to their environment. They're much more interesting when you stop and look at them, if that makes any sense.
No, I don't get that. As they say, no two things in nature are exactly the same. They all have the leaves and the roots, everything that you see. So I understand what you're saying, where it's the same, but it's actually not the same. It's completely different with different layers and dynamics, I guess. Tell me about this painting, Jessica. This is my favorite of the two that you've created. Can you tell us the significance behind this and why did you choose this topic?
Well, I picked a hummingbird because hummingbirds are my sister's favorite birds.
Okay.
And I see them around a lot because there are a lot of hummingbird feeders in my neighborhood. And they're just so beautiful. And I love how they just zip by, and they're so tiny and cute, and they differ in color. And they're just like really beautiful. And I wanted to depict one sort of in the center of a flower, kind of like it's the important thing in the element, because, you know, that's what hummingbirds are attracted to. So I wanted to depict its head in the center and have the other elements sort of accentuate the beauty of the hummingbird.
This is so beautiful. So we are offering these two paintings framed or unframed. I mean, I think they're stunning, whichever way you choose. And like I said before, they are exclusively available on our website under our limited edition collection. Jessica, any final words or any recommendations if any of our viewers want to get either of these framed? What would your suggestions be? Coming from an artist, I feel like you would be the best judge or the best person to kind of recommend the right kind of frame for this.
Well, with the peony, I would recommend a simple frame because the center of the painting is very complicated. And you want the frame to sort of, well, frame the picture. You don't want it to overtake the picture or be the central focus.
Right.
So I would pick a simple frame for that, maybe a black frame or a wood frame. A wood frame would probably look really nice with it. For the hummingbird, I would definitely recommend a black frame. It can be either ornate or not, because the painting, there's so many compositional elements that either frame would work really well. And also, if you have a matte, I would suggest just a white or an off-color matte.
Wonderful, wonderful. We cannot wait to showcase this. This is coming up this week. We will be, of course, talking all about this on our social media channels. And this particular webcast and interview will also be telecast on our YouTube channel. For more updates, please don't forget to follow us on Instagram at @lets_curate. Jessica, thank you so much. And I hope there are many more collaborations like this with you in the future. We are so excited to have you as our very second artisan under our limited edition collection. Thank you so much.
Thank you.